What's going on, everybody? This is Billy Truelove with Podcast 1558. I got my friend Josh Kingsley from ArrowheadKingdom.org with us today. We're going to be running through the Week 2 slate of NFL games, as we did last week. Josh is sporting a one-game lead over me with his 9-6 record from last week, and I absolutely intend on taking that lead this week. And without further ado, Josh, let's dive into this, starting with the Thursday night matchup we have tonight with the New York Giants traveling to Washington to play that football team. Washington does carry a 3.5-point favorite. I am going with Washington on this one. I think their defense is going to be too much for Daniel Jones, regardless of who's playing quarterback for Washington. Josh, who you got with the Giants and the Washington football team?
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and go with Washington. They have a good D. They proved that against the Chargers. The Giants also proved that they cannot play against a good D in their game of the Broncos. So Washington winning and covering the spread.
Okay, I like that. Then we've got a Cincinnati Bengals team who I think Josh may have been the only person in America to pick last week, and he did come out with a win. What a game that was. They're traveling to Chicago. Chicago is sporting a 3-point favorite. I am following Josh this week, and I am picking Cincinnati. I think Joe Burrow could maybe do some things with those weapons, and Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton. Now, he is getting to play his old team here, but I don't know if that's going to be enough for him to become competent.
Yep, so I'm going to go with the Bengals to win, but Chicago to cover the spread. I think the Bengals are going to win by less than a field goal, but Chicago will keep it close enough. This is probably one that I would avoid betting on for real.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. We've got, after that, the Houston Texans, who are now 1-0, going to Cleveland, where Cleveland is a 12.5-point favorite. It's a lot of points, but we saw how good Cleveland is. I am taking Cleveland to beat Houston by multiple touchdowns in this one, I think. I think this is a much less of a high-scoring game than Houston was able to do last week. Who you got in Houston versus Cleveland?
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see Cleveland hang half 100 on Houston, to be completely honest. I think they're going to be really mad. So Cleveland winning the points.
That sounds good. Then what might be a game, what might not be a game, is the LA Rams going to Indy, where LA currently is the favorite by 3.5. Who you got here with this Rams-Colts matchup?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a game in the definition that the referees are going to blow the whistle, they're going to kick it off, and it's going to end with a score. I think the Rams are going to destroy the Colts.
I'm with you there. Matt Stafford, like we've said, finally escaping the zoo. He's going to have a hell of a season. Look out for him in MVP talks here in about 6 or 7 weeks. I got the Rams by at least 3.5. An AFC East matchup, we got Buffalo traveling to Miami, where Buffalo, even though they are now 0-1, which is great for the Chiefs, they are sporting a 3.5-point favorite against the Dolphins. I do think Buffalo can win this game. I think it's going to be a very, very close game, though. 3.5 is too much for me. I got Buffalo winning by a field goal.
Yeah, I'm actually going to rock with the Dolphins on this one. They're riding high after beating the Patriots on the road. They're going to be at home for their opener, and Hard Rock Stadium will be rocking hard. I've got the Dolphins to win and cover, and Bills to continue
that
season swoon.
That'll be a great game for sure. Then we've got the New England Patriots going to New York to see the Jets, a game that they would generally not have to worry about at all. New England is favored by 6. I do think they win. I think this is a very, again, slow game. New England does win, and I think they actually will cover that by a touchdown. I think they win by 7 in this over the Jets.
Death taxes and rookie quarterbacks struggling against Bill Belichick defenses. I think the Pats defense scores a couple of times in this one, and the Patriots easily win this game and cover the spread.
Yes, that is very true about Bill Belichick. Well, tell me who you got with the Niners that have a 3-point favorite in Philly this weekend.
So there's been some kind of media darling sitting around the Eagles, where a lot of really high up pundits on the major networks are talking about the Eagles as potentially challenging for the NFC East. I don't know if that's an implication of the NFC East and how good that division's not, or if it's really saying that the Eagles are a good team. There seems to be some leanings that the Eagles are a better team than suspected. I still don't think that puts them in the realm of the 49ers, and the Niners are going to win this one comfortably and cover the spread.
I'm with you on that. I think the Niners do win and cover that spread for sure. This next one is going to be a good one. If you're able to see this, Las Vegas traveling to Pittsburgh. Well, Pittsburgh is a 5.5-point favorite, and I got to say, this is a very tough game to pick after seeing the Raiders' performance on Monday night. But I'm just not buying it. I think there's too many problems with the Ravens is why that game looked as easy, or not as easy, why they won at all. I've got Pittsburgh here, and I think they do cover. I think that they can beat the Raiders by a touchdown for sure, and I've got the Steelers covering that 5.5.
Yeah, so my PSA on this one is this is the one matchup that I just flat out wouldn't touch if I was actually putting money down on a game. This is one that I wouldn't touch. I think the Steelers win, but the Raiders keep it within the 5.5. The Steelers couldn't move the ball against Buffalo, and I just don't see them going gangbusters against the Raiders for this one.
That could absolutely be how it turns out. Then we've got Jameis Winston going to Carolina. Jameis has a 3-point favorite in this. I am taking the Saints that absolutely cover that 3 points going to Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're doing the kind of math written out equation, destroying the Packers is greater than eking one out against the Jets. Saints big on this one, win, cover the spread.
Tell me, Josh, who you got with Denver traveling to Jacksonville? Denver is favored by 6 in Trevor Lawrence's second matchup.
Yeah, Denver's defense is real. Jacksonville, I'm not sure if they're a real team at all. They're going to be going for that number 1 pick. There's rumblings that Urban Meyer might be going back to the college ranks already to coach USC. He would definitely not do that, is what we're hearing, which I think is the same thing we heard about going to Florida and to Ohio State. So I don't know. I think he sticks around for at least this season, but I know that Denver's going to destroy the Jacks this weekend.
I'm with you there. Denver by at least 6. This one could get ugly. It could get ugly fast.
Yep.
Then we've got Kirk Cousins going to see Kyler Murray over in Arizona. Arizona is latest odds have them favored by 3.5 points. I think Arizona runs off with this one. If Kyler is healthy, we're seeing what a comfortable Kyler is doing. That's going to be way too much for Minnesota to deal with. There's way too many weapons there, and they apparently can play defense too. I'm going Arizona by at least 3.5.
Yeah, this is my surest bet of the week. The Vikings are going to get smacked. I mean, the Arizona defense put one on Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and a wide receiving core of A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. How is that going to be any different when the Vikings come to town with Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I'm absolutely there with you. Then we've got another one that I think could be another runoff. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are hosting the Atlanta Falcons, where Tom Brady is already making fun of them. And they are favored by 12.5 points. This could very well be one of those 31-6 games, I think. So I've got Tampa Bay covering by a mile.
Yeah, same. Nothing to add to that.
Yeah. Then we've got the Dallas Cowboys going to see the LA Chargers. I know a lot of Cowboy fans that are also Dodger fans. I think they're going to love this game. I'm going Dallas to upset the Chargers here, who have a 3.5-point favorite. I think Dallas finds a way to win in a shootout.
Yeah, dare I say the Chargers win, cover the spread, and go to 2-0. I just think that Dallas is going to start in that 0-2 hole. I don't think it's going to matter because they play in the AFC or in the NFC East, and there's plenty of losses that are going to be going around throughout the season there. That's probably a 9-8 wins the division type of record here. So yeah, going with the Chargers.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Then we've got Tennessee traveling to Seattle. Seattle is favored by 5.5. I've got Tennessee finding a way to run the ball and get back to what they do in this game. It could be a very close one. I like Tennessee to win or at least not lose by more than 5.5.
Yeah, see, I can't agree with that. I think Seattle's going to win by a touchdown at least. Russ is going to be cooking, and the Titans draw another go west tough assignment. And actually, Seattle is one of the toughest places in the country to get to. That's not going to be a fun trip out there for them.
Absolutely not. And then we've got Sunday Night Football with your Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Baltimore Ravens with a with a 3.5 point favorite. I've got the Chiefs here for sure covering 3.5. The Ravens did not look good the other night in what was a very exciting game of mistakes. I think we'll see a much more polished version of the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football on the road.
Yeah, so a quick story that I'm going to tell here. I have a good friend here locally who moved to the Milwaukee area from Baltimore. And so he had a condo, and when he moved here, he couldn't unload it for the correct price and value and just not, like lose his skin and everything on it. So he kept it as a rental type of property, and he would have to fly out to Baltimore every once in a while to check on his property, if you will. His tenants would come out and do maintenance and things of that nature. And in this situation, I think Patrick Mahomes owns property in Baltimore. It's called M&T Stadium, M&T Bank Stadium, and he's just happening to go out and check on property. I don't know if he wants the place by any means, but we seem to be playing the Ravens every single year, and I don't know that we're going to be shaking that from the schedule anytime soon. So yeah, Chiefs are going to go ahead and win this one big. They're gonna cover the spread, and we'll be 4-0 Mahomes over Lamar.
Big time Chiefs win. That should bode well for a nice Monday morning for us. And then we'll lead into Monday night with which could be game of the year right here as the Detroit Lions go to Green Bay and Jared Goff gets his first taste of that embarrassment on the road. Green Bay is favored by 11. I've got them in a pretty much middle finger to the mainstream media type of game as they are being dogged for what happened last weekend. I've got Green Bay by 100.
Yeah, I got Green Bay winning, but I got the Lions covering the spread. These games against Detroit have a tendency to be closer than they should be. There's not a whole lot of logic aside from it just being a divisional game. I think that Rodgers is going to come out more motivated than he was last week, which means he's going to be on time getting off the bus. I mean, I really think that's the bar that we're trying to beat. So Packers are going to win this game, go to 1-1 and what's not looking like a very good division. But the Lions are going to be within that 11-point range. So that's what I got there. So my three takeaways are the NFC West is going to stay perfect based on my picks. So that will be 8-0 rolling into the week 3. And then I have the AFC West taking their first loss with the Raiders. So AFC West is going to be 7-1. So we will have a 15-1 for the West. So West Side for life. And then my third takeaway is the AFC, or is the games to avoid. Definitely avoid that Vegas and Pittsburgh. And then I'm going to kind of caution against Cincinnati and Chicago and the Detroit and Green Bay, a.k.a. just repeating the NFC North may be bad. And I think those are going to be kind of hard games for most of the season.
Yes, that is oddly going to be a much worse division than I thought it was going to be. I thought, Packers are going to be the Packers. I thought Minnesota was coming up. I think maybe Fields gets on and Chicago's doing their thing. No, everyone sucks. Well, guys, that is what we got. That's the Week 2 slate of the NFL games. We will be on here next week chopping this up. I am Billy Trulip with Podcast 1558. We've got our guest with us today, Josh Kingsley from ArrowheadKingdom.org. We are out of here, and go Chiefs.
Chiefs.